Did you ever feel like you were isolated or set apart when you began following Jesus?
I wouldn't say that I felt, like isolated, but once I, like gave like my life to Christ and was, was just starting like to understand more about Christ and how to live like Jesus, it was things that I had to give up. I had to give up, entertaining drama. I had to give up, cussing. I had to give up, like I told you, like pornography. Like that was something that I was, like addicted to. Um, and just certain people like that I communicated with who was always negative, never wasn't like no positivity, just people who wasn't bettering my life in areas where like I needed it to be better in, I guess. So like just letting go of you know old things and old ways, and some people had to be removed. Like that was like a tough one as well. But it was all for a good thing. Because the saying is like you are who you hang around. I necessarily don't agree with that, but I mean you can start to pick up like certain habits. I mean
Yeah,
necessarily not like what they're doing, but like how they're acting towards people, how they do things, how they talk, things like that. So I necessarily don't like agree with it because I mean I don't believe that that's true, but uh, after like a while, like you start to pick up some of their traits. So
like I kind of can relate to that too, but like in a way, I feel like with me, and it's like sometimes I feel like I was isolated. That could be because like I wasn't like I actually just joined a group. It's called the Covenant like Christian. It's called the Covenant Christian like men's group. But like I found out like once I joined that group, like I didn't feel as isolated in a way. But like when I wasn't in that group, like when I was talking to like certain friends, they just wasn't like understanding certain things I was saying. Like I would talk about God, they would be like, you were seeing a vision, like nah, you must just be seeing stuff. Like they just weren't like understanding what I was saying. So it made me like feel isolated in a way. But once I got into like an environment with people that like actually thought like me, I didn't feel like I set apart or isolated in a way because they kind of like shared my like same belief. Like if that makes sense.
yeah, and now like you see like the differences when like you hang around like non-Christian people versus like the believers. It's like a huge difference in
Yeah,
like how that conversation goes and things like that. Which is not a bad thing, but like you can tell like the differences and like the differences versus before you came to Christ and then now that you're in Christ. So I think that's like a cool thing, like to notice as well.
yeah. That's why I like to say Romans chapter 12 verse 2, like do not conform to the patterns of the world because yeah, sometimes the people you're around they can kind of like bring you back into like old habits sometimes.